good whatever to you whenever you are watching this episode of Flat Broke Love, where we see what's going on in the world of Geno Bisconte. I just recently covered Geno Bisconte on my co-host audition, and then he started having meltdowns on multiple shows right after that. So I felt the urge to visit him once again. Usually we goof on Aaron Imholt, and I'm glad to see that Snake, my co-host regularly for the St. Cloud Moron Show, my co-host here for Flat Broke Love, has come with his Geno headband. I had it right here within arm's length, but I didn't think to wear it. How is your morning, Snake?
Oh, pretty good. Yesterday we were chatting in the old YouTube chats, and you had mentioned to me that the Clippers be clipping. So I got a full French press. I'm not getting up for the next hour and a half, 2 hours. We're diving in deep on Geno. Real quick, while we're in the happy talk moment, Taz, the resident artist, she did a 11 or 12 part docuseries from Pat Dixon's point of view of what had happened since even prior to the jaw incident. There's a lot of history there that I did not know. So if anybody wants to go ahead and look on Twitter, I think you can find it there.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Resident.
Yeah.
You just introduced me to Taz. Resident. What was that last name again?
Resident artist. It's Taz the RA on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I'll post a link in the comments after the show. But there's a lot of interesting stuff there, and I wanted to just make the point that Geno, Chrissy Mayer, Felicia Gillespie, and another non-comedian person are on one side, and then Pat Dixon's on the other. And I know Chrissy's history. I know Geno's history. I know Felicia from MLC and how she got on there. So I think Pat's getting kind of shafted. Even if you have a poor opinion of Pat Dixon, he's still getting fucked with by it.
Coming in to give his point of view. Geno has been on the periphery. It was a couple of years ago, and I'll go ahead and start with this first clip of why this is called a Flat Broke Love. Mike David, Red Bar Radio, one of his fans, I don't believe it was Mike David himself, made a fantastic jingle, and he goofed on Geno. The Anthony Cumia Scars Club, Mike David has had his sights on Compound Media even before he got fired. I was going to say, since he got fired. It depends on who you ask, if he quit or got fired. But even while he was still there, he was taking sights at the Compound Media folks and goofing on Geno for just hanging around the studio, drinking the whiskey that Anthony Cumia has in the fridge. And he has this, to me, legendary jingle that he would play.
It's Geno time.
Geno is flat broke. Geno ain't got no money. Flat broke. He's always looking so damn crummy. Flat broke Geno. Ain't nobody think he's funny. He can't move out of the projects cause Geno is flat broke.
Yeah, he really is. What's that?
Beyonce should sing that.
I know. Be better than that shit we just heard. Yeah.
A fun little beat beneath it, and Geno is flat broke Geno. You can't escape that from me now, Geno. All thanks to our buddy Mike David, and that was my introduction to Geno Bisconte. He's been on Compound Media the entire 8 years, and now that Compound, it's been ready to go out back and be shot for a few years now. But it was a big passion of Anthony Cumia's. He felt a responsibility to people like Geno Bisconte, who didn't have the greatest of stand-up careers, lived, well, now Harlem is not as shitty as we all think of it as back in the 70s, 80s, but that was my intro to Geno. How long have you been aware of Geno Bisconte?
I'm pretty sure I'm later to the Geno train. It was either through Mike David post Cumia, after he quit fired there. and then started going after Gino. I knew about him peripherally. I knew about him from Stevie Lou, I think, flipped out on Compound when oh man, I can't remember the redhead's name now. I could see his face in my head too. God damn it, he used to be on Ron and Fez, get hit with the cowbell all the time. Like there was a lot of drama going around Compound, and so I started looking into it. And I think it was right when Gino got 4 days a week was when I started really paying attention. Because now In Hot Water's like the new thing. Pat Dixon was gone. Bill Schultz was doing mornings. I wasn't really paying attention. And there was another show that was there too. I can't recall off the top of my head. But
So,
yeah, it was post Keith the Cop Compound kind of crumbling.
Steve Carell actually saw Gino's show, and he has a review. I've got a video of that.
Loud noises!
That's
So
about right.
That was Steve Carell's takeaway from what Geno Bisconte is doing. And Misfit, I'm the same. There are a few beloved chatters I have that are fans of Gino, but I don't see it. He does not craft a joke. He just says the naughty words that you say in 1999. And he's very upset at the Dabbleverse right now. And I think the biggest part of it, I played this drop yesterday. Gary Delabate sums it up very well. Just flip personal and professional.
My professional life is like at a 9, and my personal life is at like a 2.
Damn, look at that mustache.
Gino, oh yeah, the Gary puppet had that big old mustache. He still had that on when the Gary puppet was around. Helped cover up the teeth. He thought that would get Howard's ire. Make fun of the mustache, not the teeth, boss. Nope.
Yeah, right.
So we're going to start with this little piggy clips. Well, I guess we already started. Now that we're getting on to actual Gino, this little piggy I turned on and I was like, all right, I goof on Aaron Imholt. Carl goofs on Aaron Imholt. Maybe when I get my schedule rearranged, I can drop in on this show. And then I had the same reaction to Keanu a few weeks ago. It's like, Keanu, I'm going to skip this one. Gino, I'm going to skip this one. But luckily, very quickly, Gino started showing that he's having a meltdown.
So instead, we have Skittles Cake Bisconte, a man who will not run from the internet. He's actually the talk of the internet this week.
I don't know why I'm so popular. I'm just a middle class married dude, man. I don't know why people are but I love the attention. And I had to get out of jail. I love how everyone in this Dabbleverse, not you guys, but everyone else, even your boy Moody Melton, that fat-titted meathead, fucking has like police charges on him.
Even this guy directly here above me.
Yeah.
But I'm the one that should be in jail. These people are idiots.
Oh, we're going to get into...
Okay, referencing the clip that Carl is going to play, I found it very fun of Gino being very wistful, going back into the former Compound media offices, and it was a tad sad in my eyes. It's time to move on with your life, and you just seem to be holding on to that just a little bit too much.
Yeah, he it's not that he went back to Compound Media, it's that he went back like 2 weeks later. You know, it's like driving past your ex-girlfriend's house at like 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, I miss her. Her light was on. You know, he was doing the same thing. It's like, that's where the desk used to be, and that's the booth over there. Now it's just empty. Of course it is, stupid. It's gone. They took it away.
Came off a bit more sad than he was hoping it would come off. So we've got a few more minutes of this intro, and then Sam Bibley. It's later in the show where Adam Bush is. He's like, "Come on, Adam. Come on, Adam. No, that'll be part of the longer second clip from this little piggy."
That because
so much to talk about.
I have to tell you, Aaron was celebrating your felony this week. He thinks you're already in prison for 10 years. It's crazy.
Could you imagine?
Aaron just wants everyone to have a felony now. I'm up for a felony and I'm going to get convicted. Aaron is thinking, if the entire world is felons, then we're all on even ground again. That's going to be Aaron's underground efforts, is just to frame everyone in the United States for a felony, so we're all even.
Yeah, that puts him back at baseline. Like, if everybody has one, then he's not, a felonious human individual. I have a felony from almost 15 years ago now, and after a certain amount of time, it don't mean shit. It doesn't.
So some states you can't vote, right?
Right. I use that joke all the time.
Gee whiz, gosh darn! I can't vote for one of the two parties in the duopoly. Gosh darn it!
Yeah, I know exactly my thoughts on that. I tell people that I'm a non-voting felon. Thank you very much. And then everybody goes, "No, felons can vote in Ohio. Go vote." I'm just.
All right. So Ohio is the haven where you can still vote for one of the two that are on the ballot. And I did travel with felony amounts of marijuana more than once in my car, but didn't get caught with that. Hooray!
And that's exactly what my felony is for weed. Jesus, man. And now it's legal here in Ohio, so don't I get like a free pass or something? Like, yeah, you were a bad guy.
I was very surprised about, of like, all right, as we're legalizing it, we're going to go ahead and throw out all the cases of people in jail for possession and dealing. But nope, not gonna do that. I think you're wrong there.
I think you're more in trouble for rule breaking than what the actual rule was.
Mm-hmm. Even when that rule is no longer in effect. You broke it when it was in effect. Fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, back to Gino.
Working in a building for 8 years, after you chased everyone away because everyone is a bunch. Can I say in this stream? Everyone.
Not in this stream. No. Over on Rumble with Maniac Cop 3, it was throwing it around. There was, which beloved chatter was pointing out who is and is not that word over on Maniac Cop 3, over on Bobby Nick's channel. We watched that this past weekend.
One of the Dabbleverse is a bunch of them. And
we're on the peripheries of the Dabbleverse. Well, Gino, I've been calling myself half a one. I do have too gay a energy for this area that I'm in. I do have to go to like Atlanta. I'm hoping it's a film town, and so you do have something there. I'm a little bit. I'm a half a bundle of sticks, not a full-on bundle of sticks. And a big thanks to Levy Time, who is not very familiar with Gino. Is he always like this? I don't understand the appeal. He's, always like this. Once you pull the string, talk to me, Gino. Talkie Gino just does not stop. I believe that Geno Bisconte, now that Compound is over with, should go into selling shit, like Billy Mays here. Or our buddy Vince, what was his name? Offer the slap chop guy. The slap chop.
I know who you're talking. Yeah, the dude with the headpiece, right? Was he a ShamWow too?
Yeah, the slap chop and ShamWow guy. He made a movie back in the day, the underground comedy movie. It's fucking terrible. So that's the trajectory you could be on. Compound Media is your underground comedy movie. And now I think it's time you start selling us some products, because Gino is boisterous. I just don't see him as a stand-up comedian. Maybe I should watch some of his stand-up. I don't know if it's out there, but everything I've seen of him, he's just loud, as Steve Carell told us earlier.
Yeah, he's trying to dress the performance up with a show instead of substance, like it's a vapid words with a big presentation, and then when you think about it for 2 minutes, you're like, what did he just say? He didn't say anything. And real quick about there you go ahead.
Sorry, just a little talking over you. Thanks once again, Levy Time, for the $10. I do have a little jingle for a thanks.
Thanks for the super chat.
Oh, and another one. Thank you for the second super chat. Levy Time knows it's just speculation, but do you think it's drugs induced? Seems like he's manic. I think it's just part of his personality. It does seem like he might be bipolar 1 instead of bipolar 2. Bipolar 2 is the one you want. That hypomania, it just feels like you're high. Full-on mania in bipolar 1, I could see that's what Gino might have, especially the way that he's flipping out. He's been on top of the world with his dream job for 8 years, and now, not so much.
Yeah, no kidding. Gino was more than one ways. He's very similar to Steel Toe, and that was one of them. He had his dream job with Kumia, and he didn't do anything to take provisions just in case if something happened. Aaron did the same thing. He had a radio gig. Nothing was going to stop him. He was on top of the world. And then he got kicked off of radio and then subsequently Twitch. And same thing just happened to Gino. Got kicked out of Compound. And now he's relegated to YouTube just like everybody else. And I really think that burns him up.
We're in the pick up the pieces. Gino really put his heart into that Soul on Compound Media. I know some of my beloved chatters here were a fan. I was not, and we have a few people who don't believe that he was, like Sam Bibley has looked him up on Google, and there's a lot of reviews claiming about his stand-up comedy. Before we get too far away from talking about movies with 2K, it was Kip Smith. That's the official spotter of the bundle of sticks, and Ding Lizard has been filling in. Thank you for that $5 super chat, Nimrob.
Both Kip and Ding Lizard are great chatters. I like watching those guys. I see Kip a lot in Earl Yankel's chat. He's a mod over there. We goof with Earl all the time.
And Ding Lizard, we are. It's fun how we've gotten to be like speculative psychologists. I've been into this psychology 101 horse shit for years. I know my brother's a narcissist. I was an actor for 8 years. It's what was on my W-2. Of course, I'm a narcissist. So ADHD and bipolar 1 here on the Amateur Psychology Hour is what we are theorizing is up with Gino.
Oh yeah, there's definitely something going on because he goes from 0 to 100 really quick, and loves to be high strung. It's too much sometimes.
Got to sell them slap chops. After all, Vince Offer, whatever the fuck his last name is, beat up a hooker. He's not there anymore. Billy Mays is dead. Also, the guy that sold trading cards that was on TNA, Don West. Don West is dead. There's an opening in the pitchman market. I think Gino has that energy to be a pitchman. Maybe he could start, as we've been talking about with going to work at Costco. He could start selling stuff at Costco, just giving out the samples. Oh, you're good at this. Let me have you over here on my QVC channel.
Yeah, exactly. Possibly from Walmart greeter to sample giver to UVC. We got a career path for you.
Yeah, you are the latter half of the Slap Chop guy's career. It was nice while it lasted. Now let's go sell some shit.
And you walk in, and it's literally like something out of Bugs Bunny. Morning, Sam. Night, Ralph. I'm like, I'm gonna go look at the old place. They're like, yeah, go right in. There's no lock on the door. But then the Dabbleverse, because they're all fucking children, are like, let's build stories around it. I'm telling you, I'll give you a sneak peek. I'm probably gonna do an in hot water show from there, where I'm literally gonna have a box and a chair, and I'm gonna be like, welcome to in hot water.
I'm calling the cops. You're gonna get raided. You are so gonna get raided. Don't blame the fucking Dabbleverse for this shit, Gino. Adam had nothing to do with it. Adam and
I need someone to blame. I can't blame Anthony. Oh, but he does blame Gavin McInnes, because that's where the blame should go. It's Gavin McInnes who said, I basically bought Anthony. Bye, guys. You're not making money.
He did. He came in and cleaned house, and Ant got a little flack for not doing it himself. But if anybody has been listening to Kumi for the last 5 years, 10 years, they know he's not confrontational. He can't. It's spaghetti on the wall. As soon as somebody starts yelling, He shrinks down and doesn't.
Yeah, I just listened to, I think it was a Creep Off episode where Carl and Vinny said that at DabbleCon 2 they were fucking around, like yelling at each other, just, as a gag. And like Anthony was there, like sinking in his seat, taking him right back to the spaghetti against the wall night.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Ant does not like that kind of stuff. And
Which
Gino
why
is
Opie
more
was
than
so
happy
great.
to.
Opie loved that stuff. They made a great team together, and I do enjoy Anthony and Gavin more than any of his other co-hosts that I've seen on Compound. Of course, I probably would have loved Artie more, but Artie was not in a good headspace. He was barely there.
No, and you can't give Artie gobs of money because he'll just, you know.
Thank you, Annie O'Ryan, a member for 2 months. You can be a rope shooter for $4.99 each month. We'll be doing a watch along on Monday with one of the public domain movies off of Fanboy Flicks' playlist. Super chat now while you can before it closes forever on the Dylan from Somewhere channel. I am still waiting for a PIN number in the mail, so it might go away. I told him, send it again. Give me that PIN number. So there might be another clerical error that gets it away again. And a nice podcast stupid telling Gino to get a job. I do have later on Gino reacting to nice podcast stupid's super chat. He doesn't, he's not very happy with him in that clip. But let's 10 more seconds of this one. Let's finish this one up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I had nothing to do with it. We represent the Dabbleverse here.
I don't consider you guys. Okay, I apologize. I guess you are part of it, but the Dabbleverse to me is not you, buddy. But go on. I'm sorry.
I could have just ended it. That was that last 10 seconds was not as necessary as I was thinking. But thank you to our Clipper friends, Stallion19, who is in this chat right now, and Doom saw. Oh, this needs to be seen by some more people. So Doom put together this one of the bigger flip out later in the show.
Thank you, Mommy.
You're welcome.
And I keep in Doom's intro. There's some people who I'll skip right to the clip. A quick intro, and it's always fun. Nice going, Doom.
Let's get back to this because now Aaron's going to start coming up with some jokes for you, Gino, in a sing-song form.
That's what this used to be. Oh, we didn't even realize there was like windows over there.
The police come on Monday to put you in cuffs and search your balls because you didn't handle it well when Compound falls. They say it's a fine line of when singing is fun and when it's annoying. I've actually called myself out on my shows of like, all right, I got the hack thought to start singing Jimmy Eat World right here, and I'm not going to do it. I had that hack thought.
Yeah, no, it's especially because people pointed out that Ray DeVito does it. Like if you start a song, he's got to finish it, and same thing. Like if I hear some lyrics and I feel myself start going towards it, I'm like, whoa. Don't do that. Don't push.
Yeah, sometimes it is fun. Sometimes it's complete hack. And I feel like it's been more times lately where I've been like, hey, everyone, I had a hack thought to sing than when I actually do sing every once in a while. Thank you, Nice Podcast Stupid, for the $2. Gino's going down. The supers have only just begun. Part-time gig. That's what I gotta say. Is Gino did not plan for the future. He did not get all the nuts in his squirrel house, and it's going to be a tough winter if him and Keanu are only going to be doing comedy still.
Yikes.
He just went crazy, losing all his fame. He ran out to the ocean when the police
Poor Matt having
came.
to laugh at this.
I know.
That's the thing about the Dabbleverse. I'll say it again. All these people have prison they've been arrested. They've been handcuffed.
Well, he does have our number there. I have been arrested, but I got a probation before judgment. Woohoo!
Oh, that you're good on you.
And they all sit there and they fucking weigh in on other people's lives who have done nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I go to bed every night. I sleep like a baby.
I'm going to need a chart, Gino. How much do I need to accomplish in order to start goofing on you?
See, that's exactly the point I wanted to make. He's like, all these guys have got records and have done shit. I've done nothing. How can they judge me? We judge you because we've done shit and you've done nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you're sitting there still not doing anything. We know you know what I mean? Like, if you get in trouble, we know what's going to happen. So we can speculate.
I do have, like, I can see, for me, it was 4 seasons of a television show that no one watched. Gino, it's even harder, because when I say I worked on a television show for 4 seasons, it was like 50 shooting days. So about 3-ish months of working my dream job for 4 years, and that's no more. And Gino has been doing his dream job 8 years all the time. So I had a little bit more of the mindset of like, this goes away. As much as we try to keep it rolling, it doesn't keep rolling. So he's, out of that mindset of plan B, of going to the... Cardiff said cart pusher. No, not a cart pusher. He needs to be giving out samples. He needs to be at the door of Costco. That can help get him into his more family-friendly selling stuff on QVC, Gino.
Yeah, exactly. He's got, like, not Tourette's, but he does have a knee-jerk language problem. He'll just say certain words.
As we saw on co-host audition, the joke I was doing where he would just kind of end a sentence with fucking or fuck, because that's like his and my brother has the same thing of fuck being an that's something you need to sand down a bit for the wider public.
Yeah, it's a little abrasive. I used to be that way in my 20s. Like, I was effing and jeffing every other word, and can't do that when you're 40, you know, especially when you're trying to be a professional. You can say he's a stand-up all day long, but there's still a professional attitude you have to be in entertainment. You know, you can't just go around, hey, man, put me on fucking stage for 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? People are going to not want to deal with you.
Yeah, Barbarian, am I saying Otisor right? Thanks for super chatting the other day. When I say super chats, many times I can't help but say it in the Stuttering John voice. He did see Gino doing stand-up, and just glorified crowd work is all he did. That is an art form, doing crowd work, but it should be intermixed with your actual act. I was shit at crowd work. I will flat out admit that. I was no good at doing crowd work, but you've got to weave it into your act. Or you could be Patrice O'Neal. Patrice O'Neal's crowd work, if you're on the level of Patrice O'Neal crowd work, fuck yeah. That's legendary crowd work that he did.
I think that's not necessarily crowd work. That's crowd beating. He would hone in on one person and just let him have it for 10 minutes. It was great. There's a Patrice stand-up where he's like, I'm thanking one pair of titties right in the front row. You know, and he just starts talking about it for like 10 minutes. It's so good. And another crowd work guy that I like, and a lot of people don't, sometimes it depends on the mood, is Bob. Bob Levy can work a crowd. He can come out and do his 15...
DabbleCon is the only time I saw him, and he did fantastic. He seemed pretty fucking drunk, but he had a command of the room while he was doing 15 minutes at DabbleCon 1.
And that's what I like about Bob. He'll own that room. That's what I like about Earl. I've watched a couple of his YouTube where he just comes in and there's literally 20 people in the room, and all of a sudden it's his room. You know,
and that's Earl's neat specialty. Earl has become the closing guy at the Comedy Store at like 2 in the fucking morning.
The Sam Kinison spot.
Oh.
Maybe near this toddler, and I wake up every day. I'm like, yeah, life's good. I don't have to worry about fucking what's going on with, like, did I fucking do drugs with, like, they're immoral losers. The guy did drugs with children, and he's like, this guy went into an abandoned building and
looked around
and sent it to his buddies for their show. But oh my God, like it is the definition of cope, or it might just be retarded. I don't know.
This is what I don't understand about.
Oh, maybe I should. Oh, this was Doom taking it out. Maybe Doom's done his research to see that YouTube is more lenient on the hard R than the hard F.
Really?
This behavior.
I guess so, because I'm pretty sure we get an F-bomb, a cigarette bomb, a little bit later that Doom takes out.
Yes.
Stuttering John has said very awful things about me and my family. Rob Saul has done that. If either of those guys were arrested tomorrow, it wouldn't change my day in any single way. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be sad. It wouldn't affect me in any single way. I don't understand this thing where it's like the person who I no longer like is getting in trouble or might get in trouble, and that makes me happy. This is how Chad acts. This is how Aaron acts. This is how Stuttering John acts. Brennan.
And by the way, don't kid yourself. April is a giant twat as well. Like, because the revenge porn
I thought you said she was tight.
Giant twat, I did it, the tight ass. April is the one that when all this goes on is still living off the dole with those people and sends me a text like, hey, we heard about the thing. You know, she sent me a text saying, we heard about that picture, blah, blah, blah. Can you send it to us? We want to press her. And I just never texted her again till 2 months. I thought she was nuts. I'm like, what an arrogant, hypocritical bitch. And then like,
okay,
No,
so April is an arrogant,
disagree.
hypocritical bitch, according to Gino. Let's remember that Gino has the opinion that April is an arrogant, hypocritical bitch. The heel, Gino. Oh, that's douche chili. The heel. I think what was it? Rob Saul did that. Don't do that. But he is ready for Christmas. Gino is jumping right over Halloween, and he's got the Yule log there burning on the television behind him.
Yeah, that bothered me. I don't know why. Like, to have a fireplace going, like the fake fireplace on screen while you're on camera. I don't know why that bothers me. It just did. I just think it's kind of...
We haven't hit Halloween yet. You can start showing us your Yule log. You know, everyone leaps over Thanksgiving now. So Yule log starting, Dia de los Muertos is November 1st. So November 2nd, we will allow the Yule log without giving shit.
Real quick, see my Yule log on onlyfans.com/Spurgsnake. I'm kidding. I don't.
I hope that
a poor attempt at a joke.
I can get into those log videos if there's a coffee table. If it's direct on the person, that's a bit too much for me.
Call from the police 2 weeks later, driving back from a gig. I'm not lying. I was coming from a gig, and it was the police. And they're like, and I hung up on them. And then they call me back. It's like, no, this is Officer Schreiner from the. I'm like, what are you calling about? And I'm like, what do you need to know? Because I have no loyalty to those two pieces of shit. Like, there's no loyalty among all the fake people. Everyone in the chat, they're all fucking losers that fucking live vicariously.
Gino, these are people you're trying to get to watch your show. People in the chat, it's a fun little relationship that people have. That's why I started getting in the live chat, is because people knew each other at DabbleCon. I was like, oh, these friendships exist. But everyone in the chat... He is not after your view. You are also a fucking asshole.
Through this shit, they have no fucking lives. I have friends that I'm loyal to. I have people that I have history with. But all I ever did was be nice to fucking Aaron and April. And they're two fucking, one dumber than the next, one living a lie like fucking Adam fucking said, and the other just fucking waiting for the next fucking meal ticket to come by. That's why she's still living with the Ricadas.
I think it's fair to not like April. She does plenty, and she said plenty to make someone not like her, but she can also be a victim at the same time.
Moody, how many times have you hung out with April?
I've never hung out with
Shut the fuck up, Kiwi.
So here is where Gino turns me. We are on this discussion show about the Imholtz, and Moody, after going off on April for about a minute or two there, as Gino did, Moody has an opinion. fuck you for having this opinion on this opinion show, you fucking cunt. Have you ever met her? Oh, damn it, I dropped the C.
That's okay. I think we're a few minutes in. We'll be all right. No, but that's like he deliberately is poking at Moody that way, like, you know, being really hard at him because that's Melton's boy, and Gino don't like Melton anymore for whatever reason. But Moody made a good point there. She can still be a victim of Aaron's shitty behavior while mooching off of the Ricadas. That doesn't mean, and I disagree with that, mooching on the dole. She's there with them because Aaron ruined April's relationship with her family. Kind of. And then April just doubled down because that's who she is. And that's why I'm very surprised that the divorce show divorced as quickly as it did. Because I expected her to like triple down and just be miserable with Aaron instead of.
Yeah, the way that we've seen, she is a bullheaded individual. So we both had the thought, like, this is going to be a close call on the divorce clock, which still had like at least a year on it, I think. But yeah, she found somewhere soft to land. So her family may or may not still be angry at her, but it definitely drove a rift between both families when they eloped out in Vegas. So most likely doing what she's doing, probably still not getting along with him. And I guess I shouldn't have that opinion since I don't know her, Gino.
Exactly. Like we haven't, I'm pretty sure more of us have spent time observing April much more than Gino. And again, we're amateur doctors over here, so we can see certain patterns, you know, like you just know once you live life long enough and meet a million people in your life, you can tell certain behaviors and patterns of how people act, myself included, you know? And I agree. Gino's probably more butthurt of not scoring with April like Nick did. Little Jelly, I think. She's his type.
Little Jelly.
That's what you do. That's it, Moody. You're like, I think, shut the fuck up. You'd never met her. You never hung out with her, but you lived the life like all these other fucking in the Dabbleverse. Shut the fuck up with your opinion.
Yeah, see,
was...
Doom has found the line. Doom believes that dropping the hard R is more acceptable than the hard F. We all found out that YouTube doesn't like the bundle of sticks.
Tell me about people you know. That's the fucking problem with all your fuck. You know what I think? I know what you think because you don't live your fucking life with these fucking assholes.
Well, he was just saying that she can be a victim as well.
Let them chat shit on me, but that's the lesson you need to learn. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is, Moody. Like, Moody, did we not meet? And we hung out, and you said, I said, you're going to tell.
Taking me to a casino there. Did we not meet? At least give me that. Was I at the dinner? At least give me that, Moody.
Yeah, exactly. No, Gino is Fredo to me at this point. And yeah, he's definitely a low tier Italian. I don't know how else to explain it. What an asshole, dude. And here's the thing. Speaking of being a hypocrite, he shits on the Dabbleverse and then turns around and kisses Carl's ass about it. No, not you, Carl, not you. But Carl, in fact, is the unofficial mayor of the Dabbleverse, no?
He's a founding member. Chrissy Mayer, she kicked it off, but Carl has he bought a new house thanks to this weird corner of the internet.
Yeah, and good on him, man. See, that's probably the smartest financial decision of any dabbler. You know, actually bought a fucking house. I'm not paying rent anymore. Good deal, you know?
And a great point by Nimrob71. Everyone shut the fuck up about Pete Rose. We never met him, so shut the fuck up. It's a weak take. Every single person who has anything to say about Pete Rose.
I do think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
He did deserve his spot in the WWE Hall of Fame when he finally made it, because there was like 3 WrestleManias in a row. Well, the first one, Kane just attacked him out of nowhere, and then like the next 2 WrestleManias, Pete Rose jumped Kane trying to get revenge. Only 3 appearances,
good old days.
But God, were they memorable, of Pete Rose at WrestleMania, multiple years trying to get revenge on this 7-foot monster.
I miss wrestling
You're
sometimes.
like, I'm going to tell,
Yeah.
what's it, Fat Tits. And I go, of course you are. And we had a nice give and take, right?
Yeah.
Because we know each other. So as a friend, I'm telling you, shut the fuck up and talk about things you know about, but don't lower yourself to the level of this.
All right, so I guess we are just talking about TV shows and stuff we watched last night, since we can't talk about Aaron anymore.
Bunch of in the chat. Fair?
I think she is a victim. Absolutely, I think. Like, look.
Well, you don't have to know her personality. You don't have to
Yeah,
hang
you
out
don't-
with her to know whether or not she's a victim on this.
Yeah, like she was going. Look, imagine you and Keanu are married for whatever reason, and then Keanu goes and runs off with someone else. All
Why?
hypothetical.
Wait, why? Why do
All
I have to? Why do I have to?
hypothetical.
I think Gino eventually gets why Moody is saying this. It's like he's completely oblivious to why Moody is setting up this hypothetical for about another 30 seconds as he keeps saying, I'm not going to do that. Why should I do that? I'm not going to do that. Keanu, no, I'm not going to do that. Eventually, it does seem it clicks in his head of Moody being like, oh, you're relating April behavior to my wife.
Real quick, this is part of where I tapped out watching. I was actually staring into the sun watching this little piggy, and just Gino's behavior, dude. He's like, he is the most terriblest arguer I've ever witnessed. And this, I tapped it because he couldn't get the thought experiment, and this is coming from Moody, who couldn't grasp the thought experiment of waking up tomorrow and the Earth being flat. You know what I don't know if you guys seen this. I'm going to go real quick.
I didn't see
If
that
the
clip
Earth-
of Moody. So he was a little slow on that one, you're saying.
Yeah, so the idea is if you and I, Dylan, woke up tomorrow and the news said the Earth is flat, nothing would change for you and I. We would still be doing this show. We would still be going to work. We would still be eating chocolate before bed. And GPS would still work. And Moody couldn't grasp it. He's like, no, that can't be. You know, because how would GPS work? And starts doing what Gino's doing and coming up with these weird contradictory arguments instead of rolling with the thought experiment. You know, the shape of the Earth doesn't really matter to anybody except science and how we mathematically do things. And that's what Moody couldn't get past. Well, if the Earth is flat, that would break math. Like, no, it wouldn't. Things would still be the same. You just would find out that the Earth is a different shape. And he couldn't get around it. And it was so fun. Him and Melton for like an hour. I was like, how is Moody not grasping this? Everything would still be the same. If you woke up and nothing changed except the shape of the Earth, your life is not affected. So it's not a big deal.
But why do I need to imagine? Why do I need to imagine that she's on drugs? I think this
Exactly.
goes on for damn near a minute.
And that's why I tapped out. That's what I mean. Like, it's like being so obstinate. He can't even, you know, move forward with what's going on. And like you said, maybe it does click. I kind of bailed.
It does seem like eventually he gets it. I do have
You
a
have to
jump
tell
ahead
me why I have
point.
to
So I know he gets it within the next 2 minutes.
imagine that. Why do I have
All
to
right.
imagine that?
You have troubles with your wife, and she got hooked on some drugs from someone, and she's
Why?
gone and run off with them.
Why did she get hooked on drugs?
Well, she's clout chasing.
But no,
or
wait, you know what,
whatever.
Moody? I'll tell you.
This exact back and forth is why she's on drugs, Gino.
Why? Because they wanted to hang out with Rekitas for views, and then
Right.
they're like, "This will be great." And then,
Okay, yeah,
and then
all of
fucking
that.
Rekieta, who made all his fucking money doing law tube shit and
All
was
of
already
that.
married with 5 kids, wanted to
Yes.
fuck someone else's wife.
Right.
But you're
All
doing
of
this
that.
like it's
All
normal
of that, yes.
when I'm
No,
giving you
Gino.
the specific of what happened.
Yeah, Gino. So yes to all of that. So
Yes.
she did
Thank
all
you.
of that, and she ran off with them. Okay, you as the husband of that person who you loved, would you wait around and not say anything to anyone, including her family?
I
Or
wouldn't
would you,
get in
or
that
would you call up my
situation,
colleague?
Moody. You're not.
Okay, I feel like he got it there. That moment where he just shut up, and now he's saying he wouldn't. You can't make this hypothetical on me because I would not get there. So damn near an entire minute of just trying to talk over him when it's like, no. Just if you were Aaron, I wouldn't be Aaron. Okay, at least that's an answer.
Yeah, right. All right, an answer that is antithetical to what he's saying. I wouldn't be Aaron. Okay, then you would go tell, or you wouldn't say anything to anybody's family. You just let it happen. Aaron snitched. for better or for worse. He went to April's family, snitched on her, went to his own family, was like, look, I'm fucking up. And I'm pretty sure that was at the behest of Ashley LaRue. So he didn't, he's trying to keep his kids in his life for whatever reason. I mean, if he's paying for them, he should have visitation, right? I guess that's his logic.
Why do I have to imagine I can't see my kids? Why do I have to imagine why do I have to imagine I have kids, Moody, huh?
Well, my
Hey,
point
how
would be
would
like,
this happen? Because in fact, I hung out with the fucking steel toes, whatever you want to call them, and none of this happened.
Yeah, let's
You're
call them
not
steel
allowed to
toes.
say to me.
were.
No, you're not allowed to say to me. Let's say you're a soulless, materialistic piece of shit, and you wind up in point B when I would never leave point A to be in point B.
He's
Maybe
actually
that-
not materialistic. That is true.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, Gino.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's what you do. You're them. You're living their lives because do you not like yours? Why don't you spend less time fantasizing about what they would do and fit?
It's not fantasizing, it's speculating because it's fun.
Exactly.
As seen by me getting monetized, me getting double the subscribers once I started talking about Imholt regularly. It's fun to speculate about people whose way of thinking is just so fucking weird.
Right.
Like yours,
It's
Gino.
and that's the thing. Like he said, I wouldn't go from A to B. Well, nobody plans to go from A to B like that. That's why it's a thought experiment. What would you do if A led to B? I wouldn't let it happen. That's you not putting any effort into the show. You know what I'm saying? He's not even bothering to contemplate how his life would be if something fucked up, which is exactly why he's in the spot he's in now.
It's funny how much Gino filibusters and adds very little. And Adam Bush, when he does get the chance to talk, it's very dense with actual thoughtful and entertaining words.
Yeah, I didn't know who Adam was. I didn't know who Adam was, and he's very succinct with his words. This show for sure.
New to the Dabbleverse. I believe he's had 2 appearances on Who Are These Podcasts, and they've both been really decent appearances.
Good.
It's fucking Aaron's fucking voice on the fucking AI chat.
All right,
That's what I mean, but
now he's
that's
making
what
a point.
You get sucked into this world.
For some reason, I really found that entertaining. Stop thinking and worrying about that. Worry about yourself. Worry about your super tips voice.
Why don't you spend less time fantasizing about what they would do and fix fucking Aaron's fucking voice on the fucking AI chat?
All right,
That's what I mean, but
now he's
that's
making
what
a point.
You get sucked into this world and say to me, "Hey, but imagine you." Why would I have to imagine that?
Because
I'm 55. I've got enough realities I've lived through. I've lived many lifetimes, and not in a single one of them did I say, "You know what I would do for views? I'd cuck out my fucking wife."
Yeah,
Fucking unbelievable.
Look,
Adam, am I wrong? Stop, Adam. Fucking be the arbiter. Am I wrong, Adam? I see you nodding.
April can be a victim, and Moody has a point, and he's allowed to say it, and it's true.
No, Gino
Come on, Adam.
defers.
Come on, Adam.
Gino's
You continue
deference
my
didn't
point,
work.
Adam. I need to take a break, Adam. Just continue my point. No, I will not continue your point.
That was funny.
He has some thoughtful introspection here, but in order to get to the further clips, I am going to jump ahead a few minutes to where Gino starts being Gino again.
And when I texted her, that's why she responded to me. Do you understand, Moody? It's not like she ignored my text. I reached out. I'm like, just want you to know, fucking, we love both of you. Tell me what's going on. Hope you're okay. And do you understand that? So you're wrong because you're living through the Dabbleverse and not, don't help me with this, reality. Do you understand? I reached out to my friend April.
His camera moved when he snapped.
He reached out to his friend April.
Me like that. Thank you for the $4.99 Deadpool. Speaking of which, drop another super chat. Thanks for you folks giving a couple of bucks.
Your super chat made my day. Cheers and hip, hip, hooray.
I agree. Gino is the
Absolutely.
new Aaron.
Rudolph Valentino. Gino and Aaron are
Whoa.
very similar in the fact that our advice to them is get a part-time job and do this part-time. That's what I'm doing. I got a shitty job, but it pays the money, and it's easy to get days off compared to other jobs. And another one by Deadpool. Thank you for
Big
the
old.
$50 super sticker so much. We have a transformer, a hippo getting into his chair and transforming. That's a cool one. I think you dropped that one before.
I do like that.
Very powerful hippo transformer.
Yeah, I got the chat popped out so I could see him too. Real quick, shout outs to Deadpool for helping out Tiff Washington. She's one of Corn Dip's people. She hangs out with Uncle Jack late in the nights, having an issue with her husband. You might have kidney dialysis. Deadpool, real fucking hero to the Dabbleverse, man. Seriously. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Deadpool is just generous in general. So when someone is in health need, fantastic to see you stepping up even more. Thank you so much, Deadpool.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm so happy that he's around.
Who
That's
I
something
know,
else to say about
not
that.
from watching on the Steel Toe morning show. And she got back to me. And when she got back to me, and I knew you guys won't get this because you don't know her, when she got back to me, I was like,
Still on that. It's a few minutes later, and Adam Bush wouldn't agree with you, but still, you don't know her. And she's not even Marina Shafir.
I don't like this.
Damn it. I think that's the second time I made a Marina Shafir joke in the past couple of weeks, and Regal Salvatore missed it again. He's the only one I trust of our regular chatters to get that dumb reference.
I know, he's so great, too. Sal is now called Pussy Puncher 316.
Oh, nice.
For no good
that's
reason.
Over on Spurgtopia, he's now put. Okay, good. It might have taken me a little while to realize who Pussy Puncher is.
He didn't change his name. Just call him that.
Oh, okay.
This at all because she's still with them. You understand?
Hold on a second. That she sent me a sweatshirt in the mail once. Am I allowed to comment and weigh in on this?
How shitty are those sweatshirts?
They're the worst sweatshirts.
All right. There you go, Gino. If you would have had that type of personality this whole time, we wouldn't be goofing on you the way we goof on Aaron. You made a quip there. How shitty are those shirts?
And weigh in on this?
How shitty are those sweatshirts?
They're the worst sweatshirts. For sure. Mike Geary, you've been quiet through all of this. Do you have a take on April and what her situation is?
I don't know what the fuck's happening.
You don't?
I don't know why Gino is screaming at Moody for having an opinion on the Dabbleverse. The show is opinions about the Dabbleverse.
Yeah.
I don't get why we're yelling at each other. I don't know what's going on.
Well, in Gino's
could you throw on the mute when you type "poor favor" Spurg Snake?
Oh, sure. Sorry. Is it that loud? My bad.
It is a little loud. We did get a comment on it. Yeah, it's starting to stick out to me. When you.
Oh no! I'll hit the mute.
Throw in the types. If you could throw on the mute, that'll make us just a little bit more professional sounding.
Sorry, micro switches. My bad.
All good.
Defense, he did not want to come on this show.
Then why did he?
I don't know. When I first reached out to him, he's like, "Are you fucking kidding?" Should I read the text that you sent me?
Oh, please,
Gino, because you did not seem all that excited about it. You said, "Thanks, buddy. By the way, I checked my Venmo. I didn't see my money in there. What is in it for me to come on your show and talk to all these pieces of garbage that hate me and think your dear friend Pat Dixon is some sort of fucking..."
Gino's gotten spoiled from Compound Media for getting paid every time he makes an appearance. No, just guesting doesn't get you a couple of bucks. This is the world we live in. Welcome to the land of confusion, Gino.
Barter for hitting 3 women and breaking my jaw.
Yeah.
That's how the conversation started.
Pat
Then it
Dixon
got
blew
worse.
me off this week, by the way. Fuck him. I'm with you,
Oh yeah,
Gino.
that's right. Fucking did you ever hear from Pat, by the way?
He sent me a bunch of messages about apologizing.
Okay.
afterwards. Yeah.
He's such a piece of shit. I love that his life is in the shitter.
Hit the like button.
Pat Dixon and Gino, once again, TAS, remind me again of that full username who has the Pat Dixon side of the feud.
Tad's the resident artist.
TAS
_.
resident artist.
The RA, yeah. I'll look up her Twitter here in a mo. I'll mute my mic. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. And earlier in that clip, Carl says, I don't take glee in the fact that other people are having it tough. When Rob Saul gets arrested, he doesn't feel happy or sad one way or the other. Personally, I'm I'll laugh at it. I don't feel happy or bad, but I do find it amusing. And then right at the end of that,
I don't think there'll be any funnier arrest than Aaron, though, after just being on his high horse for so long. That was possibly the most satisfying arrest I've seen, maybe ever, of Mr. High Horse. They're criminals. You're a criminal, too. Come on down off that high horse.
The perp walk with him in his suit was great. But Gino being a dick right there. Oh, I'm happy that Pat's life is in the shitter. Good. Don't complain about your life being in the shitter or the Dabbleverse trying to wreck it.
So one of the things, this is the next batch of clips that I pulled talks a lot about this wedding cake. And they try to make it seem like this was just fine. The fact that you're goofing on us, you had to know. Like the wedding cake, I understand when you're trying to cut the budget and have a unique wedding. Those wedding cakes are fucking expensive. It's understandable. You want to go your own way, and having all these different desserts, that's a way to go. Keanu's mom went to the grocery store and bought this cake and put a bunch of Skittles on it. And that has been lampoon worthy since it happened, because it's on the wrong side of personalized. It's looks tacky and cheap as fuck. I think it would have been better just to have a buffet of desserts and not have a cake at all. If you would have cut a cupcake, I imagine there's something that looks like a cupcake down there on that, but the cake was a bad choice. I know many people who have just gone to the courthouse or had a backyard wedding, and let's not go into debt when we get married, which seems to be, they were both budget conscious. There was a rumor that it was in South Carolina, so Anthony can make it. I did look up Keanu Thompson over on her backstage profile. Backstage for actors, not back page. That's a different profession. It does say she graduated from a South Carolina acting school, so it's apparently where she's from. But it was funny of like, New York Gino and New York Keanu? What? Why is your wedding in South Carolina? Is it to make sure that Anthony comes? That is a fun thing to speculate, but she is from South Carolina.
Okay, fair enough then. Not only did they get shit for the cake, that slit in the front of her wedding dress, I think Keanu got a little bit of a side look from the other ladies, because it looks a little... I think it looks great, but in most sense.
I didn't hear them flipping out too much over the wedding dress, and it's a personal choice. If you remember Howard Stern's wedding, I believe Beth O had her butt crack showing just slightly on her wedding dress.
Oh, like a backless dress that came to the top of the... Okay. The wedding dress thing was the other ladies, like Chrissy and whoever's on her Simpcast panel, Brittany, Venti, and all those.
I really wanted to give Chrissy a
They're
chance.
just being nitpicky.
Being the one who came up with the I Dabble, the kickoff to the Dabbleverse. Anytime I tuned in, I remember when she was doing streams dressed up as Frosk, that lady who flipped the fuck out on the new G4. I was like, all right, this could be fun, but I just couldn't get into Chrissy.
That's where Chrissy tried to build part of that audience. She's good friends with the Gary at Nerderotic. Like, she was doing shows with him and was trying to kind of get into the comic book part of the internet. And then it kind of fell away to the wayside. I don't know what happened, but she was doing shows with that Star Wars girl. Speaking of that Star Wars girl, I'm glad this went this way. Geno Bisconte and Anthony Cumia had that Star Wars girl on in compound media, and both of them were so drunk they could not stop fawning over this girl's tit. Like, it was so uncomfortable that they took it off of compound media. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, but I'm going to have to find that and repost it. It was a bad situation.
That one was definitely off my radar. And Gino not filling that titty addiction with Keanu, unfortunately.
Right, no kidding.
Yeah, Sam Bibley, I think she's early 30s, asking what their age gap is. Gino just said 55. I believe that she is early 30s, is Keanu. So that is 20 plus years. Yeah, I don't think she's 35 yet. I think she's not 20. So 20 couple years, I believe, is our age gap that we're looking at. Oh, yes, and I should get to our next bunch of clips.
20 years?
I pulled this up. For some reason, I thought our video from Doom had Carl saying that everyone is talking about Geno Bisconte's wedding. So I typed it into Google, Geno Bisconte wedding, and hit the news tab, and there is no news. We are one of a dozen people talking about it, along with Nice Podcast Stupid.
Dozens are covering the Geno Bisconte wedding.
So on to Gino's stream. We just saw the cake, and it's the exact
And by the way, the
wedding that they would want with that cake. And I do have to give them thumbs up for a theater, being a couple of comedians who said, no church, let's rent out a theater. I actually do have to give a thumbs up on that idea.
Real quick about the cake, because I was looking for another clip. They didn't even have to have a wedding cake. They could have done a faux cake, which is, just a tiered looking, it looks like a cake. But then, like you said, you have the buffet of desserts.
Oh, actually, yes, I have seen that tiered thing with cupcakes. That's, as we keep talking, yes, that's exactly what they should have done. Like, fuck the cake. Tiered cupcakes of different flavors on each tier.
Or even having a fancy fake cake, just something that looks like a cake with flowers and decorations on it, but having an edible thing off to the side for the whole party. That's what I used to do before I was a professional YouTubing co-host, was pastry catering. And it was a lot of things like that, events like weddings, banquets and stuff. And so you got to come up with affordable ideas for people. You got to be able to work with a budget. And the Skittles cake could have saved them some money, but I guess it's a meme for them. And it didn't work.
She wanted Skittles. Apparently, that's the joke is that she lives off coffee and Skittles, or that's all she eats in the morning. Something where the Skittles are an in joke, but just thrown on the wedding cake. Her mother indeed looks like a lizard. I lost the beloved chatter. Los Federales.
Retired lot lizard.
So apparently Keanu's father does come from money, and she has her mother on all the time, and I don't think it works, especially the retired lot lizard look that she has. I'm starting to wonder if that relationship was like Vince McMahon Sr., where he knocked up this just terrible woman from South Carolina, and then went away. Didn't meet his son, Vince McMahon, as we know him, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, until he was 13. So that's what I'm starting to speculate, is rich dad hooked up with a lot lizard and then was like, fuck, really? Really? The lot lizard?
Well, and it also explains why Gano's mom never remarried, because if she's collecting alimony, why bother?
Oh, actually, Gino did not wear his headband. I can bring this picture back up. Yeah, one of the very few places we have ever seen Gino without his headband here at the wedding. Actually, would have been fun if he would have got a fancy headband. Then again, a fancy headband, he doesn't have that in his collection. Have to spend too much on a fancy headband.
Maybe he could have got like a cummerbund from a child's tuxedo and worn that as a headband.
Thank you, Leo Gunn. Skittles and White Claw, not Skittles and coffee.
And by the way, the wedding was fucking an absolute blast.
By the way, if we say that phrase one more time, Jake Hudson will appear.
Absolute fucking blast. I mean, it was. Oh, and then they're like, the cake? Are you fucking? I'm going to.
I love this. Once he says the cake, we have Keanu off screen. Yes, honey. Yes, honey.
I also think that's. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to look more into Keanu's parents if we keep doing shows like this. Maybe she was some kind of producer. I have no idea what she used to do, but that was the theory that I just threw out there. Is that and also how you get a rich husband, be a producer. There's plenty of rich folk there in television production.
I know for sure that Kate Meany's mom was a television producer. Just to be a little clear, might be conflating the two. I'm not sure. Like you said, we're gonna have to look into Keanu's mom and pop and see what's going on there.
Yeah, if we continue this show, we'll put in a little more effort in finding out what's going on there.
Yeah, and I agree with Leo Gunn. Rode hard and put away wet.
The cake? Are you fucking? I'm going to. It's our first fight. I'm kidding. Do you understand? Okay, do you understand? Like, we used to do a thing on my In Hot Water show. We were in a studio. And I would say about Tara, I would say she'll call, right? I would say she'll call. And it was a joke because I knew she was better off without me. And I knew she was getting married and had a kid. I never dedicated tweets to her to be like, oh, what a shit.
I've got to remember to turn these up when I'm making these clips. When we were doing our review shows as well, it was coming in kind of low. I've got to remember throwing them through my editing software when I do it to bring the clips up just a tad.
You're like, oh, what a shit.
Oh, yes. I didn't comment on it on Twitter. What are you doing commenting it on Twitter? Well, the photo was on Twitter. Kind of designed for people to leave comments underneath.
I think I know what's kind of bothering me here with where Gino's sitting and having the screen over his shoulder like that. It looks like he's taking orders at a fast food restaurant. If you slapped a menu up on that TV, I feel like he would be in a Wendy's or something, or one of those slightly fancier brick fast food places. Carl's Jr. maybe.
I can see it. Did Kenny Rogers Roasters have a drive-through?
Right. Exactly. Like, right. This is exactly how I feel. Like he's, welcome to Starbucks. Can I take your order?
Thank you, Dang Lizard, for the $5. Every time you say the full by the way phrase, you have to pay Jake Hudson a license fee. He's got that thing trademarked. Son of a bitch. So there is another $5 I owe to Jake Hudson because I just said it instead of reading the abbreviation. Dang Lizard working around give him that money by just putting BTW. He didn't think that far ahead to get the abbreviation.
By the way, I don't know what happened, but I seen Jake Hudson in a chat and he said, don't talk to him. He's like, don't talk to me, Spurg Snake. And I said, okay. I don't know what I did, but I angered the Jake Hudson. Probably talking about somebody. Oh, Joey C. That's what it was.
Okay, that was his point of turning against the snake.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure what went on at her wedding. I'm not even sure where it was. Somewhere in the States. Who's another? I have another extra. No. I mean, do we point out that Alex is insane? Yes. But I've never in my life seen like so much fucking, so much feedback on social media for our silly little wedding, which according to Alex was at a dilapidated movie. And again, that cake was fucking perfect.
That cake was fucking perfect. I am saying it in this tone of voice so you know that I enjoyed our decisions and I do not regret it one bit of making a decision that's so mockable by everyone on the internet.
This is classic. type of behavior. Because now, and like Sam mentioned earlier, he reads comments. He knows that he's getting made fun of, and that's why he's complaining about the Dabbleverse. He acts like he doesn't care, but he cares very deeply.
You're on the peripheries of the Dabbleverse. Anthony Cumia got in on the goofing on John when it was for a while, and you are his underling, was his underling on his own. So you're on the peripheries.
You think fucking when we're fucking booking a venue where people are, I cannot remember the last wedding I was at where I'm like, hey, we got to go sit down and eat this fucking cake. I can tell you countless weddings I've been to where I returned to the table. They're like, hey, did you ever try the cake? No, it was really good. The wedding cake is an afterthought for ritualistic.
It's not like there is an ice cream flavor of wedding cake because people love it so much. This is something that's an afterthought that no one really gives a shit about.
Fucking zeros, okay? And don't get me wrong, if that's what you want, all the pomp and circumstance, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
I should have went in and turned this audio up, especially when she just dropped something blah 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 fucking in the background there. My fault. For it's been a while since I've pulled clips. I forgot that I need to turn them all up when I do my editing.
Let me tell you, fuck the wedding cake, because I will tell you, Daddy was all about the apps, and Daddy was all about dinner. Daddy was all about the salad. Daddy was all about the drinks, and Daddy was all about the dancing. But you're like, no. And then Steel Toe, look at it. You got married in Vegas twice. You're fucking making fun of a cake when you let your fucking wife, who called Keanu, and she'll talk about that dizzy bitch trying to make right. I am sorry that you don't understand that YouTube, God, thank God. Am I still on Rumble? That YouTube loves this shit.
He said dizzy bitch when he meant ditzy bitch too, by the way.
Oh, I've used that phrase, dizzy bitch. Maybe
really?
That's more of a Maryland thing than an Ohio thing, this dizzy bitch.
Oh, okay. I always heard it ditzy. And there
I've
she
heard
is.
it both ways. A dizzy and a ditzy. So we are not upset about the cake. As soon as he said cake, there was Keanu in the background.
It was so good, right? We're not upset about the cake. It was delicious. Oh, there's Pussy Puncher now.
Good to see you, Salvatore. I dropped a Marina Shafir reference, hoping that you would catch it, because there ain't no one else that's going to get that obscure reference. Gino's called himself Daddy for a while. I don't like it. It's something he's done even before he was married. She actually calls him Bisconte a lot before they got married.
The cake is a lie. Smasher, Tank Smasher.
All you fans of Portal out there, get that? All you non-video game fans, that's just a jumble of words.
Yep.
And I didn't. I said, plan the whole thing by myself with the help of my planner, Linda. I wanted it to be a reflection of me. Was that wedding not a reflection of me?
It wasn't a reflection of me, thank God. You looked amazing,
Well,
baby.
and the
I don't know.
the
It
flowers.
it was a Chinatown dress.
Oh my God! Yeah, it was from the same place Chrissy got her fucking dress. It's called
Chinatown? You
Amelia's.
both got them in Chinatown?
I wouldn't put it past myself to get a dress in Chinatown, but no, I'll cover this on that on my show that way. Oh my God. I planned it, but when I was like, fuck, do I get a cake? And I planned it from here in Charleston. I said, I just want people to rage. I don't want to waste their time with a cake. I do not.
And now it's the husband and wife who are raging, not the people who were there. They had a great time. It's you two raging. I'm not raging. It's a reflection of me. Well, she doesn't have that tone of voice. I think she gets that in a little bit. It's Sam Bibley. She is hitting puberty, so her voice is changing. That's actually from the weekend of wedding and yelling. That she's getting that hoarse voice kind of thing going.
Yeah, I think she was yelling a lot at the wedding. but Rini mentioned earlier that Gino's voice might chase Keanu away. And I know Keanu's voice. It would be that fake English accent she throws on every few, sentences that would get me. I think they're going to chase each other away.
She's got this certain smug way of talking that I'm not a fan of when she's not putting on that accent.
Right. Weird, right? Okay, it's not just me.
Behaved wedding. I want everyone to act like a lunatic. I don't give a fuck about a cake.
You don't give a fuck.
But I wanted Skittles and disco balls everywhere, right? So the morning of, my mom gets a confetti cake, a shitty confetti cake from Harris Teeter because she's a sweetheart.
Because it was perfect.
It was perfect. She pops Skittles on it, and yes, I saw it, and
I believe that you believe it's perfect. I do not believe at all that in hindsight you were like, why did we let that white trash up our wedding? Yeah, definitely. You definitely are down with what happened with that cake.
Okay, and real quick, it was just a cake with Skittles on top. It wasn't a Skittles cake like I had initially thought. They didn't go out of their way to put any extra effort into a Skittles cake. They just bought a cake and dumped Skittles on it.
Her mom.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, Keanu had no intentions of having a cake whatsoever. Keanu's mom went into the grocery store, or maybe it was a bakery. She just mentioned him. Got what was just available and Skittles on top. So that was all on the elder Mrs. Thompson getting everyone to point and laugh at her daughter. Whoops.
Yep. I think that's why they're upset, because it was something that they try. I am pretty sure they do have forethought into what they do. So that way the internet doesn't go after them in a certain way. And here it is anyway.
A good girthy morning to Honk the Clown. Hope you can make it soon for an episode of TikTok Around the Clock. You put in a request. That'd be fun to have a second mic on TikTok Around the Clock, which won't be featured this week. Dirty Dalish and I will be talking about Tales from the Crypt tomorrow, rather than a TikTok Around the Clock tomorrow.
Ooh, keeping the spooky season going. All right.
Yes, sir. Introducing her to 5 episodes of Tales from the Crypt from season 2 through 6. I initially planned for 1 from 7. The episode that I wrote is a good episode. Season 7 just kind of stinks.
I know you were saying yesterday it was funny.
Sorry, UK folks who really tried on that one compared to the other seasons. There is an animated episode, but by the time I thought of the animated episode in season 7, whatever. I told her a long time ago which ones to watch, and I didn't throw that one in.
saying. I was laughing, and then what were we gonna do with it, Gene?
We
Go
like
this,
yeah.
and then fucking
That's it.
and that was it.
You
so,
want it? The whole point.
Everyone's so fucking butthurt and offended by this cake.
No, they're not. This is how desperate, and this is my point.
They have all. That's all they have.
You're a girl, Keanu. Have you ever been to a wedding?
That's Jameson's, right?
You're like, where you the next.
Oh, I wasn't even looking. Oh yeah, that's a bottle of Jameson. Taking a swig right from it.
Because the cake comments did not bother Gino or Keanu at all.
Salvatore, you're absolutely on point. I was talking earlier of people who have little, small, quaint weddings and don't get into some of the more fancy, expensive shit. But really, it's the wedding cake that's got people pointing at it like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And it wasn't their plan. It was her mom that's bringing all this. What the fuck is that? Because yeah, I can't shit on them for the theater. A fantastic idea for an actor or a comedian to have their wedding and or reception in a theater.
Not bad. And also, I can forgive the shitty thrown together cake a little more than if they had planned it. You know, like mom just went and did it. Okay. But watching them flip out over it, like everybody in the chat sees it, you bring up what you can say three little words and they just go off for 10, 15 minutes. Oh, they got nothing else to talk about but the cake. Like, no, it bothers you, and we know it.
It's the fact that it bothers you that we are talking about it, and you spent the last week talking about the Dabbleverse. I hate them. I hate people who are talking about me. So, low-cal behavior. Yeah, Gino, you can course correct and still be a showman and sell those slap chops to people, or you could be a low-cal. You are at a precipice, a crossroads, my friend.
Yep.
To a wedding where you're like, where you the next day you raved about the cake. Like, what was your favorite part? Well, we were all dancing and having a great time, and then they said we had to go back and watch and eat the cake. Don't get me wrong, we love watching them cut the cake.
It was so cute when my wedding planner, she's like, it's now time to cut the cake. I said, we have a cake. She said,
And by the way,
your mother did something.
By the way,
and I was elated. I was like, look at
if you
it.
stop paying attention.
Yes, elated is the word, not mortified. I was elated that my mother bought a cake for $8 and just opened a pack of Skittles on it. Elated is the word.
So, and that was the other thing. They said the cake was for smashing, like on each other's face. Why dump Skittles on the top of the cake? Because I mean, I'm sure that it's not that painful, but it's going to be not that comfortable. Somebody rubbing Skittles and cake frosting in your face.
The elder Miss Thompson will have to answer for that one.
I'm just perplexed.
Garrett Seaver laughing. Seems like he had creme brulee. Garrett doesn't even remember. If you look at the table, aside from the cake,
I wanted macaroons. They had millions of macaroons.
Macaroons. They had like some peanut butter, chocolate peanut butter thing.
I had lemon.
Okay, here's where we're getting into defensive mode. Where we had macaroons. We had, yes, you had a great display of desserts, and it would have been much better if there were no cake at all, because you didn't want a cake. You didn't need a cake. You could have had the cupcakes for the shoving in the face, and your mother got something that made you not mortified at all.
Yeah, no kidding. Real quick, Cap said buttercream or nothing. If it's not buttercream, I like cream cheese icing as well. But Wilton icing is the sweet one that everybody's like, oh, that rots my teeth.
It's hard.
Sorry,
No one had to.
As
I'm a
a
cake
baker,
man.
you have some legit insight.
Well, yeah, that's why the cupcake thing was smart, and they could have done something like a fake cake, or like you said, because we both have seen those, the tiered cupcake. Yeah, that's probably
cupcakes. As we were talking, I was like, that would have been perfect because they have an array of desserts, and you're kind of doing tradition, but your own way. That would have gotten away from the white trashness that your mom seems to lean into. Skittles
This
tits.
is true.
Shades
Skittle
Cow
tits.
would like to. Oh, how about a Skittles bikini? And as Shades Cow pointed out, you only need 2 Skittles for that bikini.
white trash chic.
Handed people fucking desserts so as not to fucking bother them while we were dancing like fucking morons.
Maniacs.
And I was doing shots with Anthony Cumia, who you're not gonna believe this steel toe came.
We
had a great time. And you'll be
we
happy
had
to
a-
know we mentioned you. He said, what a fucking loser. And again, not a gay guy like the fucking adorable, handsome fucking people that were part of our wedding party.
I know.
I
Can
mean,
you?
like a loser like you who's gone through 2 fucking marriages, both of them in Vegas, and fucking literally used the second one to try and get views. And now there's rumors your whole show's gonna shut down. And fucking, I would be so depressed that you used to make $20,000 a month on Twitch, but you're worried about a cake because that's what your comedy or career or entertainment value has become. All of you.
And then he said,
All of you.
And then
All of us. We are in the
All of
same boat
you.
with Steel Toe here. And it's because that you're flipping out about it. You guys are flipping out at my flipping out. Yes, we are flipping out at your flipping out.
Or
That's what we do.
entertainment value has become. All of you.
and then he said,
All of you.
And then
This next clip that I pulled is titled "Not
Shout out to all the-
Defending Wedding." And then I
People
think
that are
I have
watching
another
on
one
Rumble-
of more wedding defense. Another one with cake. Oh, okay, this is the only one where they are defending the wedding.
Pretty pleased with myself for doing a dual stream. We got fucking Shawnee on there. We got
Bye, Gino. I do have to give him some credit for streaming simultaneously to Rumble. I was still under the mindset that I could not do that. Gino's doing it, so I can do it. I've got to do that. So that was just about 20 seconds of a black screen. Whoopsie doodle.
sorry.
It was a mouse moment.
Sorry. I missed somebody annoyed, blah, blah, blah. Ken Angeletti, shout out. I lost a motherless. Brooklyn. There you go. Annoyed Wawa supervisor. Gina, you just got married. Look at the bright side. Stop dwelling in the. See, and that's
We're not though. We're
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't be like this is not me saying, oh my God, I gotta.
That is the new show, Sam Bibley, the Gino and Aaron show. Well, they did have it for a while, but it's not now. The fact that Gino is starting to graze in the lolcow fields that would make it a success versus what it used to be. And Keanu with I don't know, I wouldn't watch.
I would like to see Gino and Aaron do a show now, post shit talk, because before they were friends, right? And they were bantering back and forth like regular people. Now Gino will just yell at Aaron, and Aaron will have to take the beating or defend himself. And I think that would be much more fun to watch as Aaron tried to match wits with Gino, I guess is how I would phrase it, even though that's not what's happening at all.
Match loud. We are going to match
there you go.
louds with each other.
Match
My
volume.
wedding. This is me like the wedding is like this is me telling you that YouTube is a fucking the Dabbleverse is awful.
We're not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and this is another thing. Like, annoyed Wawa supervisor. Don't do that. Don't. This is what they do. Like who is it? Misery clips. Like, no, whoever it is. And it's like I'm like no. And then I'm like, it was Thursday night. It's like, oh look, Gino's mad. No one's mad. I mean, no one's. It's obviously I look mad. So I'm just sad that you're letting
You look mad. You sound mad. It's like that old joke of seeing a pile of dog shit on the street and looking down real close, getting an inch from it. Looks like dog shit. Smells like dog shit. Get your pointer finger out. Tastes like dog shit. Thank goodness I didn't step in it.
Classic.
the Dabbleverse become your form of entertainment.
I
am. It's sad. They're like, well, you're in. I'm not.
We're not defending it. We're sitting here covering the best weekend of our lives.
Yeah,
We're just talking about it.
Yeah, trust me. There's not been a moment where I'm sitting there, like, or I look at Keanu, I'm like, why didn't we have that fucking cake?
There, I love and our.
Why didn't we shell a couple? Why didn't we have your dad fork off?
No cake would have been better than that cake. That's what we have decided here in our thesis statement, is that the array of desserts wouldn't have had us pointing and laughing. A cake with Skittles strewn on top of them, just thrown on top of them. Yeah, it's point and laughable.
Yeah, right. That was the haphazard kind of dessert. It stood out. So of course we're going to zero in on that. I'm seething. I know. I agree with chat too. I'm not angry.
We are not angry. We are not defending it. We had a great time. Don't you hear how much of a great time that we had with this tone of voice?
Fork out another couple grand for a fucking.
It's
Love
very
it, man.
telling
It's so good.
that we're very happy as we talk in this tone of voice.
And there, right here, Gino just said, we're going to have your dad fork out another couple grand for a cake when we could put that money in our pocket. Fuck the wedding. We want cash.
Which is a smart idea, honestly. Spend some money, not all the money.
Another couple grand
I'm actually on your side here, Gino.
and for a fucking cake when the wedding was down to 3,000 according to fucking what's her name? Crazy Pig Alice.
I don't know if that piglet, truffle pig, is familiar with Charleston, but it ain't a fucking cheap city.
You mean
one of the most
it's not like
expensive-
Tampa where her and Chad live?
Oh my
You
god.
fucking losers.
Enjoy your oh my god. I'm so sorry. And again, I'm sorry,
Oh.
truffle pig, that no one will ever marry you. I'm sure you will have an enormous cake, an enormous one if they ever are mentally ill enough to do so.
Look at Gum over on the Rumbles.
Not bothered at all. We had the wedding that reflects me and is exactly what I wanted. And me just trying to cut you deep of calling you ugly and unlovable is just me reflecting what a great time and how happy I am with the wedding.
I'm so sorry. And again, I'm sorry, truffle pig, that no one will ever marry you. I'm sure you will have an enormous cake, an enormous one if they ever are mentally ill enough to do so.
Look at Gum over on the Rumble stream. Yeah, Mr. Fabersham did it again. I'm sorry. I'm just too lazy to I'm too lazy to shell out for. We have 3 like mouses. It's mice, but I guess do you say mouses or we have 3 computer mice, and each one has one more weird thing wrong with it. So it's just like I'm just lazy.
I could have cut out that last 10 seconds. Ding Lizard with a nice little zinger. Did they do their honeymoon in Egypt? Because they seem to be in denial. Hacka. Well, you can go to the Knot and donate to the Cash Fund Life and Honeymoon Fund. That appears to be the only thing here on their wish list. On the Knot, you can give from $1 to $150 plus, and that is all that's listed there. Their Life and Honeymoon Fund.
I did not know that website existed. Good on you, Dylan, for finding it. I am face palming hard. What didn't they just say they saved thousands of dollars on the wedding because they got it down to $3,000? But they're crowdfunding a honeymoon?
And a lot of people
I'm confused.
do this. They're registered.
I mean, I get it.
This is something everyone does. They get registered. We need a toaster. We need a plunger. Nope. Just cash money fund is what they've got.
Yeah, but that's what I'm used to. A registry, like at Neiman's or Kohl's or some shit. I'll get you kitchen appliances. You need a microwave? Cool. I'll spend $300 on them. Well, not even that much, but you know what I mean. They do that. I'm conflating now because I also thought that this was for a trip to Egypt for a split second there. I was going to be like, oh, Jesus, are they going to that far?
They should go to Ocean City, Maryland, like Bob Levy did.
They can go wait, aren't they in South Carolina? They can go to Myrtle Beach. Walk on the boardwalk, go see Ripley's Believe It or Not.
That's a better beach than Ocean City, Maryland. You go down to Keanu's original home of Myrtle Beach. That's definitely better than Ocean City, Maryland. So let's see. We are at the Troll Super Chat at this point, and I found this by typing in Geno Bisconte wedding into Google, as we saw with the. I took it away. I don't have it anymore. The shot where there is absolutely no news on the Geno Bisconte wedding. So this is a happy couple. Nothing gonna get them down. There's Frankie saying, "Whoops, wrong screen." There's Frankie saying hello to them.
By the way, here's how you know this isn't Alex Engelbert. You ready?
Oh,
I wish this were Alex Engelbert for 3 reasons. 1,
I do too.
because she'd be watching.
She probably is.
2, because it was her money. But 3, because here's the thing. This is how you know it's a troll. I mean, not just what they write. Troll. This is why you do members only streams. So trolls will pay $2 to say shit, and I'll gladly. And
but if you do members only streams, then the trolls aren't going to be able to get in there to give you $2 to shit on you.
Like, I'll gladly put it up. Yeah, cake was trashy. So was the entire wedding. Damn it. Damn it.
It looked so beautiful, exactly how I wanted it, and it was so Keanu.
Now here's the thing, and I'm gonna leave this up. Someone's gonna screenshot and be like, "Oh my God, they got Alex good," because it's not her.
She's
Brad's
fat
gay.
and trashy.
Brad's gay. Is it true you're a whore who's overweight? See, that's not her, so she won't respond.
I could have cut that one out. That troll super chat wasn't as annoyed as I was remembering it was.
Right. And I agree with Sal real quick. I said $300 microwave. Jesus, who buys that's like 1970 prices for a microwave. You can get them like $80 now. So I inflated that price by
microwave.
Yeah,
Which I can watch YouTube on.
You get a text message when your chicken nuggies are done.
So this clip, Cake 3, it's entitled. We had 2 clips so far of them talking in a very calm voice about we had the wedding that reflects us and everything. Even the cake was exactly what we wanted.
We're not angry, just direct.
Like I'm gonna take it a step further. I was proud of how that cake thing worked out.
I loved it.
I was downright proud of it.
I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Like the last 3 weddings I've been to. Okay, Chrissy's wedding. I cannot watch this. I cannot name a single wedding I've been to where I remember the cake.
Also, we had such chic food. We had shrimp and grits cake and braised short ribs. Fucking people raved about the food. It was so cool.
Whoa, I thought, watch this, guys, watch it. I thought the shrimp and grits was an appetizer.
Well, what did they do for us? That one
Whose
Patrick
idea
Properties,
was it?
Thank you.
Who said, and
yours, Eugene.
I mean it. I go, because the salmon, I'm like, salmon's delicious, but salmon is salmon. I'm like, that shrimp is a dish.
They said, well, we'll do that for you, no problem. Oh my God. And the appetizers at cocktail hour.
Hustle people.
Okay, it seems like they've calmed down. They're not as angry as they were here in the Cake 3. And I knew there was something familiar about that quote, Salvatore M. He had to plain old point it out to me. A 300-pound woman, this enormous woman will devour us all. Ah! That was the B Sharps episode. They were on a ship.
Whoa.
That's what it was. This enormous woman will devour us all. And I was like, I know that reference. I can't quite microwave 300-pound woman. That was the difference there. So Gino has a message for us. That you and me and Nice Podcast Stupid and so many other untalented people who are talking about him.
It doesn't make you talented shitting on people that have done things. If I can give you one bit of advice, thanks for the fucking $2. Thank you for the $1.40. Keep fucking striving to get monetized so you can shit on people and think you have talent when all you're doing is sucking a giant dick. And by the way, I would not want a nude of you or your big-titted host there, woman, okay? And I'm not sure if this is the dude or the chick, but again, it's like, I was nice to these people, like, well, then they can never do it because they fucking live on top of each. It's like, what? They're on the bandwagon, like, oh, I guess it's good to hate them. It's good for business. Yeah, but you're nobodies, and you're the reason I make it members only, so you have to pay me $1.40 to say something stupid.
I don't think Gino realizes.
You're not.
I don't think he realizes it's totally worth it to any of us to say that for $1.40. Do you realize we're throwing change in your bucket and then making you stare at our asshole? You know what I mean? Like, here's $1. Now look at me moon you. I don't know, man. Fine with him.
Rob Saul would actually be very jealous of you for getting these $1.40 super chats, asking you whose nudes are better. Don't ask me whose nudes are better. So they did calm down eventually. This episode was about 2 hours long. That Cake 3 that I had there, they were finally calming down from their very angry tone of voice there. So I did want to get to one more clip. This one is from Stallion 19 before we get out of here. This one is mainly talking about Zumak, but he reveals a bit about his employment that really interested me. I-80 State Police. Gino doesn't realize he's a lolcow, and this is brand new that Gino is becoming this level of lolcow. He's been a lolcow for Mike David for years and years. but I didn't stick around and really see what Gino was doing. He is now yelling on every show that he's in. He's having a breakdown, and it's not because of the wedding. I don't believe the cake would have got him so upset if he was still employed, if his dream job didn't just go bye-bye.
Right. Oh, and real quick, Stallions in chat. Double shout out to Deb's Big Knockers. I was in their chat the other day. They're both Dan and Deb they're good people. I like their channel. Dan makes me laugh. He's got a $700,000 house with 9 bathrooms. Gino's got nothing.
Gino has his alleyway apartment. I believe someone called it a former alleyway that's now been remodeled to be livable.
I like that. That's a good joke.
Chad.
What dumb mother shoots himself in the foot when his only source of revenue right now is YouTube? That's it.
I'm booked every weekend in November. I'm thrilled to say I'm booked doing comedy every weekend in November. And I'll tell you, fucking the first Monday in November, me, Keanu, and Greg Giraldo Jr. are doing an Elks in Clayton, New Jersey. And there's a
I did not know Greg Giraldo Jr. was doing comedy. I'm a huge
Yeah, you
fan
see
of
the
Greg
space?
Giraldo.
Yeah, I want to see Greg Giraldo Jr. I wonder if there's any, if it was inherited or not. Greg Giraldo was I really liked his stand-up.
He was one of my favorites when he was on the scene. I absolutely adored Giraldo's humor.
Tough crowd, man. That show really got me wanting to be a stand-up, even though I never pursued it. But it was like, these guys are just so quick all the time. I missed that. That was like the high school lunch table where you're just fucking with your friends all day. It was so good.
And then you see what happens when you put just a regular Joe in between people who should be doing this with the Fixing Joe episode. Actually, I think it was a couple places. It might have been him making an appearance on the Artie and Anthony podcast as well, where Joe Matarese is like, you guys, you're just so quick the way your brain works to make jokes. Yeah, that's kind of a sign you shouldn't do this anymore, Matarese.
Yeah, man, yeah. I would love to go over that one day. Like, watch the Fixing Joe podcast.
I finally watched it for the first time because it was it Bass Frequency or
maybe Porcelain?
Because those two I get mixed up all the fucking time. They have a similar style. Whoever did the report on that one of the two, they did such a great job of covering the Fixing Joe show. I finally just watched it for the first time. It's a laugh riot. If Joe would have pivoted it and made it the goofing on Joe show, someone was analyzing it and pointing out Joe was they needed that straight man of Joe, that anchor, to be like, that's what we're pointing and laughing at. But that's not what he wanted to be. He spent, or had somebody spend, a good amount of cash on that pilot episode.
Yeah. Yeah. And Sal says it's Porcelain, and I'm pretty sure, because Porcelain was going pretty hard on Joe Matarese. There's 3 Matarese documentaries, and there was a Joey Meat Sauce. Porcelain was doing, hey, I'm Joey Meat Sauce. This is my podcast over here. Like, it was an English guy doing a horrible Italian accent. And I loved it for that reason alone. And I think Porcelain made up with Joe Matarese and took it down and is kind of on good terms with him now.
If I remember, he did an interview with him in one of the later Inconvenient Goof sequels.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And that's, I think, just like with anybody, once you have a conversation with somebody, it's like, this guy's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I met Joey and Christina Catalano in Tampa, and they were like human. It was like, you're not this beast that I see on the internet. It was a very humanizing once you actually sit and talk with someone like that.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's not fun to me. Dehumanize all of them.
Thank you, Ding Lizard, for the $5. Gino's mental breakdown was the real icing on the wedding cake all along. Fuck yeah!
That's a great comment.
That deserves a rim shot if I could find it. All right. Gino's mental breakdown was the real icing on the wedding cake all along.
Also, real quick, thank you, Dang Lizard. If I'm ever too loud or anything, yeah, let me know, because I'm the most unprofessional guy here.
Comment in that check. All right. I believe the following week I'm at a gig in Easton, PA. I believe the following week I'm doing a Johnny Benson gig in Connecticut. I don't think you're on that one, but of course you're welcome to come. And I love working with that guy.
Shouldn't you ask the booker before you say, "Oh yeah, my wife is performing too"? That seems a bit odd. That oh honey, you're not booked on this one gig I had, but come on along, perform some time. The booker might be interested to know that if there were such a person who existed.
Good point.
I believe the third weekend I'm with my good friend Corey Alexander and Keanu at a gig in Easton, PA. I forget the name of the club. Actually, I
like now I'm starting to just picture in my mind that he's not booked for any of these places. He's just doing a flash mob comedy where he's just showing up. And then we work for tips. We work for tips. Yeah, worth a try. I just came up here and did stand up where you had no music or stand up. I work for tips. Go for it.
That's what the headband's for, so you can stick dollars in his headband.
It reminds me, I don't think this was an old joke. I think this was actually a story from one of my drunk buddies who made change at a strip bar. They had a 5 or a 10 or something and stuck it in her G-string and...
We need to get a bit with a stripper with the change thing, like the old school, like cranks out a couple quarters and hands them back change.
Yeah, go to the pinball machine. Oh, I was quite happy to see there was a pinball machine at the shitty strip club down the street. That was a plus. And the big old heifer who was rubbing on me looking for a private dance. She earned her money by rubbing on me for during pinball and pool. So nicely done, stripper heifer. Thank you for the $4.99 Nimrob. In a romantic gesture, the wedding bands were made from the shell casings from the shooting incident.
Oh yeah, that's right. Keanu was up in her apartment and there was some gunshots down the street. Or right outside. I think it was like right in front of her apartment.
That is
welcome to
some
Harlem.
good creative uses of we are turning this violence into our love. I am melting down these bullet shell casings which scared the shit out of us here in Harlem. May be a bit better, but sometimes Harlem's gonna Harlem. She instead of having the ping pong balls, she's shooting the quarters out. That is a fun little variation for those who don't want to carry around that cumbersome quarter belt for giving change.
The Futurama reference, the Keglicizer. The Keglicizer. They go to the episode where Zoidberg goes for Krabla, like he's starting to get his testosterone. They pan through the gym and there's one woman wincing. And it says Keglicizer right above her machine. I don't know how they got away with some of those jokes, but they snuck them in there, man. It was great.
A joke like that in the background, as I mentioned with Rocco's Modern Life, having the elevator to hell. They got that by, and a few other sign gags. They were playing Spank the Monkey one time. It was just they made no reference to it, but Mr. Bighead just barges in, and they all have like a ping pong paddle in their hand, and a little monkey on a swivel with his butt out, playing.
Oh, it's like
monkey.
Right? Okay.
You get those things in the background. It's easier to sneak along than dialogue.
Oh yeah.
Might be a bar club gig. I'll be the first to admit that. And then I'm at Catch a Rising Star the last weekend in November. So again, Chad doesn't even think about comedy. Chad, do you understand? Like, I became a lot happier when I realized fucking streaming had to be a side hustle till I got back in a studio. And I'll be the first to admit, the reason I'm slow to get back is because I fucking forgot that even Compound Media should have always been a side hustle to stand-up comedy or the mix of the two. But I got so spoiled with Anthony and how well he took care of us at Compound. That I fucking, just locked into that. Locked into it. But again, Chad fucking, this is your... Can you make...
Okay, at this point, he gets back on Chad. What he's doing in comedy was what I was most fascinated with, and that realization that he has been fucking up for years by not diversifying and keeping his stand-up comedy. I guess he's done it kind of haphazardly. I think he's been performing all these years, but not making that his... like working them together. This is what makes me very fascinated about him. Gino is picking up the pieces. He was not ready for that dream job to go away.
No, not at all. And like you said, I don't think he was working except at Compound. It's like when Compound closed, he didn't go to the Cellar or Just for Laughs or Caroline's or whatever. There's 700 fucking clubs in New York that he could be working at, in the city there. And I'm going to say it. Where's his special? All these guys have specials. Fucking Brendan Schaub got 2 specials. How did that happen when this guy is a hardworking comedian stand-up for the last 8 years? There's no way. I agree. He was on cruise control.
It's an old mentality that you don't want to put out a special. That you want to. That's what Stuttering John did. I'm like, Jay Leno told me never to have my material recorded, and people would work years to get their hour, and then they would just retire off that hour. It hasn't been that way since like the 80s, since like HBO and Showtime specials. Louis C.K. when he was really, actually he might still, but he was coming out with a new special every fucking year. They now have the dry bar as well for those. It's a good reel, but yeah, once you put that hour out, that hour is dead.
Right.
You need to start anew all over again. So
well, good point, because I don't think Gino has a second hour in him.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm theorizing right here, is that he got his hour and he's been doing that hour for years now. That's what I'm theorizing. But maybe we'll have to take a road trip like Blind Mike did to go see our buddy Tom Myers up in Havre de Grace.
There was a good WATP clip on YouTube about Tom Myers. He doesn't write punchlines, and that's probably the most accurate description for Tom Myers jokes.
The gag that they recently came up with, I think on the most recent episode of, let's just mix up all of Tom Myers' setups and punchlines, except for one. See if you can tell the difference.
That's a good game. I like that. I'm going to go back and have to listen to the whole show.
They've been having some good episodes lately. They've been going back and forth. Carl, I've been saying, has course corrected. I was ready to jump on the turn months ago, and course corrected very nicely over there at Who Are These Podcasts to keep me there at least on the fence and not jumping over to the turn.
Yeah, I think that's Carl's got a good thing with that. Yeah, he wants to keep you just on the fence. Do you like him? Do you not like him? I'm with you. I'm on the fence with the turn. He has been doing much better lately.
I was ready to leap over that fence, but no, you don't. No, you don't. Come here. Listen to these fun conversations we're having. We're going to talk about this new sport of Ray DeVito putting a pot on his head and running full force into another idiot. Which, when he started going off on that, I was like, hey, that's a Simpsons reference too. I don't know if he even realizes it.
I know, it's so great.
So we've been chatting up about Gino for about 2 hours, and he is very much veering into lolcowdom. I've never found him funny, but just kind of unoffensive because I didn't give him the time of day. But he is having a meltdown, and we're here to point and laugh.
Oh yeah,
because that's what helps meltdowns, right? We're doing this for your mental health. I thought that pointing and laughing at you would help you get your life back together. I really did.
At least realize why you're getting laughed at, not laughed with. I agree with Jabra in the chat too. They turned on Aaron real quick, but the other one is they turned on April real quick. You know, they
yes,
just
they
like
did. Like the fact that they turned on Aaron, I felt like they were declaring a side here. Of
Right.
Like, we were friends of both of you. We are officially choosing April, and yeah, it became real quick that they started shit talking April too.
And it seems from April texting Gino to forward the Kayla picture back to April so they can pursue a case. And Gino was like, no, I'm not going to do that, which is a favor to Aaron, really, who he is both arguing. It's just a quagmire of silliness and vitriol. They just want to backbite each other. And I'm here for it. That's why we point and laugh. So keep doing it.
Drama that does not involve me is my favorite type of drama.
Exactly.
I took it back to the Red Bar clip, and this actually, this sorry about the audio, I don't know what happened, actually does fit for all those clips I played that I pulled. I do know what happened. When I pull clips, I need to turn the audio up. It's happened multiple times, so I apologize for the clips that I pulled being a little bit low, and just, this happened before. It never happens with me on TikTok, though. Oh, I'm using a different recording method. Maybe that's what it is. But enough of that technical talk. Let's hear that legendary jingle from Red Bar Mike David once more. Oh, I was just a moment behind. We definitely want to hear the very beginning of it.
Let's welcome him in, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Geno time.
Gino is flat broke. Gino ain't got no money. Flat broke. He's always looking so damn funny. Flat broke Gino. Ain't nobody think he's funny. He can't move out of the projects cause Gino is flat broke.
Thank you, Mike David. Thank you for joining me, Snake. Thanks to all you
Always.
chatters and the super chatters for giving me a couple of bucks so I can turn this hobby into a little bit of a side hustle, step by step. One day, maybe I can quit my shitty job, but for now, a shitty job is necessary. Take a hint, Aaron. So before we get out of here, any plugs that you'd like to get in here, Snake?
Saturday morning with Honk the Clown. Sunday night, I will be back for some Family Feud. I've been kind of every other week in it. Everything else is in my life has calmed down. I'm back to normal. Trying to get a regular schedule, do some music. So just, at Snake on Twitter. I'll tweet it out. Post it in the Discord. Come hang out in Dylan's Discord. Nothing too serious. I'm just hanging out and having fun. I'm happy to be here.
All the regular plugs there for Snake, and all the regular plugs for me as well. Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. We thank you for the super chats. Thanks to all the members. It is $4.99 a month to become a rope shooter. This Monday we will be watching a public domain shitty movie from the Fanboy Flicks public domain playlist. We have, I've delayed the slow adult speed dating, did some gameplay as the bonus episode for October. So I do want to have at least two. So we'll have some TikTok shenanigans with slow adult speed dating and another public domain theater later in the month of November. And I do have to get a second tier. I really want to do the 90210 Ray Pruitt years with our buddy Luigi Greenberg, but I can't do that on YouTube. Can't do it.
The Ray Pruitt fan club. Got to get that rolling.
That'll be also once I get some T-shirts made. I've decided to get more of the income making ways out in the new year, so I can be a lazy ass with getting a actual business license, because it gives me 12 months to prepare for doing something different on my taxes rather than a few. So if I follow through, there will be T-shirts and a second tier on Patreon coming up in the new year. Thank you all for joining. Captain Miserable is a big fan of Ray Pruitt, of Jamie Walters' one hit that they tried to get going. And that's definitely a second tier. Tier 1, here on YouTube will not be able to do that. So that's coming up in the future. Tomorrow, some more Tales from the Crypt talk. Spurg and I talked about our favorite season 1 episodes. Well, all of season 1. And you did convince me that the silly episode with the taxidermying live pets, that did not belong at number 6 of 6. Number 4 of 6, I would place that after the discussion. So introducing Dirty Dalish to a few episodes of Tales from the Crypt tomorrow, because damn did I love that show as a kid. I still enjoy it. So join us for that, and next week as well, Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Like, subscribe, notification bell. That helps the algorithm. Commenting as well after this is over, along with those chats, helps the algorithm. That's all for today. Maybe we'll be back for Flat Broke Love. It's up to you, Gino. What's your next move? Thanks for joining. Now feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right, dear honey, with the right left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.